Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into something that's practically taken the self-improvement world by storm. It's called the 369 manifestation method. If you've ever felt like your goals are just hovering a little bit out of reach, or maybe you struggle to stay focused on what you actually want to achieve, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to unpack this highly structured technique that's designed to essentially bridge the gap between just wishing for a goal and actually making it happen. And we're going to be focusing heavily on the exact 369 steps for daily beginners, so you can walk away from this explainer ready to literally put it into practice today. Okay, let's dive into this. The entire foundation of this method actually rests on a pretty fascinating piece of historical lore surrounding Nikola Tesla. The brilliant inventor was notoriously obsessed with the numbers 3, 6, and 9. I mean, to the point where he would supposedly walk around a block 3 times before even entering a building. He saw these numbers as fundamental repeating patterns that occurred throughout nature and mathematics. He famously said, "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe." So for Tesla, these definitely weren't just random digits, they were universal blueprints. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1, the key to the universe, 2, meaning behind the numbers, 3, daily steps for beginners, 4, alternative variations and methods, and we'll wrap it all up with 5, the psychology of manifestation. Section 1, the key to the universe. Now, while Tesla brought that deep numerical fascination, the modern 369 manifestation method we actually use today was created by a lightworker named Corinne Yee. She basically took Tesla's belief that 3, 6, and 9 hold the core secrets of energy, frequency, and vibration, and she brilliantly combined it with modern intention-setting techniques, specifically those popularized by Abraham Hicks. The result? It's this highly unique hybrid framework. It uses the strict rhythm of a genius inventor's math to really amplify your focused, goal-oriented thoughts. Section 2, meaning behind the numbers. Decoding these specific digits really reveals the energetic framework behind the whole method. Think of the number 3 as representing creation and a direct link to the universe, or, your higher self. It's essentially the seed of your intention. Then, the number 6 stands for harmony, balance, and that inner strength we all possess to align with what we desire. And finally, 9 symbolizes completion, wholeness, and letting go of all that negativity or doubt. When you stack them all together, you're basically walking your goal through the stages of creation, internal alignment, and then final realization. Section 3, daily steps for beginners. All right, so grab your journal. The very first thing you have to do is lock in on one clear desire. But, and this is absolutely critical, how you phrase it changes everything. A weak affirmation sounds like, "I want a new job." The problem there is that saying "I want" actually signals lack. You're actively telling your brain you don't have it. Instead, you need a strong, emotion-filled affirmation written in the present tense, as if it's already a done deal. Something like, "I am so happy and grateful now that I have received the job offer I wanted." Notice those emotion words, happy, grateful. That emotion is literally the fuel that makes this entire technique work. Now, your affirmation needs to be tailored so it takes exactly 17 seconds to write or read. That usually works out to about 2 sentences. Why 17 seconds? Well, this comes straight from the Abraham Hicks philosophy. It suggests that it takes the human brain exactly 17 seconds to fully generate the energy and momentum of a focused thought. Basically, if you can hold a pure, positive thought for 17 seconds without immediately contradicting it, your brain starts actively aligning with that new reality. So the crucial point is how you apply this throughout your day. Here are the exact 369 steps for daily beginners to build into a tactile writing routine. In the morning, right after you wake up, you're going to write your 17-second affirmation 3 times in your journal. Then, in the afternoon, maybe on your lunch break, you pull that journal back out and write the exact same affirmation 6 times. Finally, at night, right before your head hits the pillow, you write it 9 times. 3, 6, 9. Simple, right? But look, it's not just about mindlessly copying words onto a page like you're in detention. It's all about your emotional state during each step. In the morning, your goal is pure intention. As you write it those 3 times, deeply focus on the feeling of having already achieved the goal. In the afternoon, we want to amplify it. The sources actually suggest forcing a physical smile while you write your 6 lines. Seriously, tricking your physical body into smiling instantly lowers stress and naturally lifts your mood, which tightly connects positive energy to your goal. And at night, writing it 9 times is about setting it in stone. It becomes the very last thought you process before your subconscious takes the wheel during sleep. Just remember, after each session, you've got to detach. Release the desire, and whatever you do, don't obsess over how it's going to happen. As a beginner, your objective is to stay perfectly consistent with this morning, noon, and night routine for exactly 33 days. Why 33? Well, keeping with our math theme, 3 times 3 equals 9, and 3 plus 3 equals 6. But practically speaking, 33 days is just an excellent window of time to thoroughly anchor a brand new habit and actually reprogram those daily thought patterns. You've absolutely got this. Consistency is where the real transformation takes place. Section 4, Alternative Variations and Methods. Now, if carrying a journal everywhere to write 18 times a day feels a little too tedious, you definitely have options to adapt this to a busy lifestyle. The 3-6-9 visualization technique involves writing the affirmation just once per session, but then you spend the 3, 6, or 9 minutes purely visualizing the end result. The speaking method is super popular for people with busy commutes. You just speak your affirmation out loud 3 times in the morning, 6 in the afternoon, and 9 at night. And for the ultimate busy professional, there's the alarm method. Pick 3 goals, set 6 alarms on your phone throughout your workday, and when an alarm goes off, mentally repeat your goals 9 times. It's a fantastic way to integrate the practice into a chaotic schedule. Section 5, The Psychology of Manifestation. Up until now, we've been looking at this through a highly energetic and spiritual lens. But now, what's really interesting about all this is how we can bring some hard science into the equation. Your brain has a built-in network called the Reticular Activating System, or RAS. Its main job is to filter the billions of pieces of data flying at you all day so you don't get completely overwhelmed. When you use the 3-6-9 method, writing and focusing on one specific goal 18 times a day, you are manually programming your RAS. You are quite literally telling your brain, hey, this is important. Suddenly, your brain starts filtering in information, resources, and opportunities that align with your goal, things you probably would have completely ignored before. Breaking down the psychological mechanics a bit further, this method is fundamentally just a masterclass in habit building. By actively practicing intention setting and positive affirmation through strict repetition, you are continuously enhancing your self-efficacy. That's your core underlying belief in your own ability to succeed. When you genuinely believe you can achieve something, you unconsciously start making choices, taking risks, and acting in ways that naturally push you toward that success. However, we do need to impartially note a few potential pitfalls here. Research shows that a very strong belief in manifestation can sometimes lead individuals to expect unrealistic timelines or even make much riskier financial investments just because they assume success is magically guaranteed by the universe. It is incredibly important to remember that the 3-6-9 method is a tool to channel your focus and align your mindset. It's not a magic wand, and it absolutely does not replace the need for good old-fashioned hard work and strategic action. Let's move to our conclusion and see how this builds into the bigger picture. Whether you lean into the spiritual alignment of Tesla's divine numbers or you strictly view it as a cognitive reprogramming tool for your brain's filter, the structure itself remains incredibly powerful. The 3-6-9 method takes the hazy, kind of distant concept of a wish and forces it into a concrete, daily, actionable focus. It is an outstanding foundation for any focused learner who really wants to take control of their trajectory. I want to leave you with this empowering question. If your brain only needs 17 seconds of pure, focused thought to start building the energy of a totally new reality, what will you manifest in your 17 seconds? Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. Go grab your journal, set your intentions, and I really hope this explainer helps you achieve exactly what you're aiming for.